Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we have another, I don't know what to really call this series that I do, but if you see my other videos like Latasha Harlan's and Yusuf Hawkins and Reese Taylor, this is another story like that. This is about a man named Timothy Cunningham that went missing for a little over 2 months and was recently found by the Chattahoochee River. And it's kind of weird because during these 2 months of him being gone, they had no idea what happened to him. So I'm going to break down the facts and maybe try to piece together what happened. I'm just going to bring up some scenarios because at the end of the day, I don't know what happened. So this is just going to be a little detective work I'm trying to do. So before we get started on this case, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of me, because you know you do. Give this video a thumbs up and comment down below what else type of stories or who else you would like me to do like a case or tell their story down below in the comments, or what else you guys would want to see on my channel. Put it down below because I stalk you guys in the comments. And without further ado, let's get right onto the case. Okay, so Timothy Cunningham was 35 years old, and he was an epidemiologist. I have no idea if I pronounced that right. I'm gonna put it right here. You guys tell me how to pronounce it because I'm retarded. Don't know. And commander in the U.S. Health Service Corps at the CDC. CDC is the Center of Disease Control. So he went missing in Atlanta because he left work. He told his coworkers he was feeling sick, and allegedly he went home to go finish work. So the last time Timothy Cunningham was seen was February 12th. He was found April 3rd by the Chattahoochee River, face up, with his favorite pair of running shoes on and 3 crystals in his pocket because he was an avid collector. He liked to collect crystals and rocks of that nature. So the police say that there's no evidence of foul play, but it's allegedly not being ruled out. The question is, how did he get from home? Because we technically really don't know if he went home, but his neighbors did say that he did come over and tell them to erase his number out of their phones, which is a very odd and strange thing to tell your neighbors, to erase your number out of their phones. That's very strange. But what was left out of his house was his keys, his wallet, his car, his dog, his phone. So very key important things that you would take if you're trying to run away from something or leave, or if someone came and snatched you. They would kind of take those things, you know. They would take your wallet, or you know, take your car or something. But all those were still at his house, and I don't know how close the Chattahoochee River is to his house. So I'm really trying to figure out how he got there. He could have walked. He was wearing his favorite jogging shoes or running shoes, so he obviously could have just walked there. But the time lapse between when he disappeared and the time that he was found is like a month and a half, a month and 3 weeks. I'm trying to figure out, where was he? Like, how did no one see? I'm trying to figure out, where this place they found him near the Chattahoochee River, face up, was it in a public place where people would obviously see him when they found him? Or was it somewhere in the cut where no one goes and it was just like someone stumbled upon him? How did they find him? How did he end up from his house there with all his important belongings still at his house, including his live dog? Like, there's just so many questions and there's no answers to this. So the medical examiner said that his cause of death was drowning. Now, I don't know if he knew how to swim, so that's, I don't know. His parents would be able to tell us if he knew how to swim or not, but they said drowning. His parents had reported him missing 2 days after he disappeared. So February 12th is when he disappeared, when he was last seen or heard from. February 14th, Valentine's Day, was the day his parents reported him missing because they hadn't heard from him. Now, his family had this thing where they would always be in contact with at least one family member. He did try to call his mother and his father, but they both didn't pick up. Also, another strange thing is, days prior he was upset that he didn't get a promotion at work. So it could be something that is important to this case, but then again, he was that upset that he didn't get the position at his job that he would harm himself. I don't know. It's also said at his job that he was highly respected, and again, I think it's still weird he was spotted lying face up on the muddy bank, and I'm trying to figure out how no one saw him throughout the, like, was he placed there the whole time? Was he there the whole time? Has he been there for over a month and 3 weeks and he was just sitting there and no one saw him? Or did something happen and then he was brought, like, I'm confused. Did he really go missing for a month and 3 weeks? Is that how long his body was there, or was it just recently there? Like, that's what I'm trying to figure out. This story makes no sense, and I've used different news outlets to gather all this information. The Shade Room on Instagram, which is obviously not like the best source, but I use that for the background story. CNN, I've went on their website, ABC, Times, Washington Post. I've gone on like 3 or 4 different actual news outlets that you can trust with the story, and all of them have different kind of versions. I mean, all of it is still the same. He was a good guy, Harvard educated, upset that he didn't get a promotion, but the stories don't make sense. Allegedly, they don't have any film of him or any type of surveillance of him leaving his job or going to his house, or there's just no, it's like he disappeared out of thin air and just was found at this Chattahoochee River. So right now I'm on CNN.com, and we're gonna read what they say. So they say there was no signs of foul play in the death of a U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention who likely drowned. So at first it was like the medical examiner said he drowned. Now it's he likely drowned. Now his parents haven't come out yet to confirm or deny that he drowned or that he knew how to swim. So it'd be a whole lot easier if his parents say yes he knew how to swim or no he didn't know how to swim. Then that would be like, all right. But since I don't know if he knew how to swim, we can't say. It's a very weird and compelling story. It's very strange. None of it's like, all the pieces aren't there. It's like they're still trying to figure it out. And of course, his body was recently found, but I'm still trying to figure out, did he die that day when they found him, or did he die a couple weeks after he disappeared or was never seen? Like, I'm trying to figure this out. They said there's no foul play, but you know, who knows? Okay, so this says the condition of the body is consistent with Cunningham having been in the river since he first went missing. There are no signs of trauma on the body. I really need to see a picture, or I need to know specifically where this place on the Chattahoochee River he was found, because you're gonna tell me his body was there for a month and like 3 weeks roughly, and no one saw this body, no one passed by. Like, so the medical examiner says it seems like it's been there the whole time since he went missing, but there's no signs of trauma. So how would they know if he drowned? That's the only conclusion they can come to, because he's found on a river, so that's obviously like, duh, if he's near a river, he might have drowned. He said he was found on the banks of the river though, but how, if he drowned, he would be in the water, under the water? I don't understand how that doesn't sound right. It doesn't make sense. So they say the area had been searched before. Okay, so they say it was a very difficult terrain, very difficult to access the location of where Mr. Cunningham was found. It was in a remote area that was not easily accessible by walking trails, by vehicle, or by people just being around there. The body was found along the riverbank, Stafford said, and was stuck in a lot of mud as well. So Stafford couldn't say whether the body had been in the area when it was canvassed on February 23rd. It could have been there, or it could have been moved there later. There's just no way to tell due to the rise and fall of the river. So there's a possibility that he could have died later and the body had just been moved there, meaning something had foul play, someone had something to do with his death. Like I said, the drowning thing makes no sense, because if you drown, you would be in the water. There's no way you're going to drown in the water and walk back up and then put yourself on the riverbank and just lay there. That don't even make sense. That's not how you drown. That's very confusing. Like I said, this case is still very fresh. They just found his body. Today is April 6th. They just found his body 3 days ago, so obviously more things should be able to come out through the following weeks. But basing the story off of the information I'm giving now, it just absolutely makes no sense. The story is everywhere. It makes no sense. There's no cohesiveness. The only thing that's cohesive is that his fellow co-workers, he told him that he felt sick and he left. That's the only thing that's pretty solid. There's numerous people that can back that up and be like, yeah, he said he felt sick, he went home. After that, we don't know where he went. We don't know if he went directly home. We don't know what happened after that. And the only solid thing we know is that he was found on the riverbank April 3rd, Tuesday. I don't know how he got there. I don't know how he died. We know nothing. Okay, and also there's another piece of information. So his co-workers told the authorities that he was obviously disappointed that he didn't, on the morning of February 12th, which is the day he felt sick, that he didn't get the promotion. So his mother says that early that morning at 5:21 a.m. she received a text from him. She has said, "Are you awake?" Her son asked, but her phone was still on silent mode. I wish I had the opportunity to answer that text. So he texted her early that morning. I guess he may have wanted to talk to her. And then it says Cunningham also called his mother at 9:12 a.m. that day, and she didn't answer. And he didn't leave a message. Okay, so this is where I got the information from. It says Cunningham parents Tia and Terrell Cunningham recently said they shared a worrisome series of text messages in a phone call with their son on the evening of February 11th. "We shared that with the detectives and we've kept that as a private matter," his father said. "As a parent, you have indicators when things are just not right with your child," and that was the case. It says when they arrived at his house a few days later, Cunningham's parents said they knew something was wrong because his Tibetan Spaniel was unattended. The dog, known as Bo, had twice accompanied Cunningham to Harvard, where he earned his master's and doctoral degrees. So it's like I said, it's a compelling case. Like, when you get a dog, you definitely have to be there to take care of it every day. And he left the dog at his house unattended. So I don't know if he was an accidental death or he was walking, something happened, something transpired with someone else. Like, this story, again, it's so fresh, but it's still so confusing because there's literally no information that's consistent. Only thing that is for facts, he left work February 12th because he said he was not feeling sick, but his co-workers said he was upset about not getting the job. And the only another solid piece of evidence is that he was found on the riverbank, face up, with his favorite jogging shoes on. They said the way he was, basically no one would pass by and just see this body. Like, you had to go looking for something, basically. So that's another piece of evidence that's like, again, parents haven't confirmed or denied if he could swim or not. So I can't say he necessarily died from drowning. It kind of just makes no sense. Again, this story is literally all over the place. I don't even know really what to think. There's a couple of scenarios that could have happened. So I'm gonna stay updated with the story and update you guys on the story as more information comes out about this, because I really want to know what exactly happened to him. And I'm pretty sure other people want to know, because this seems like a stand-up guy just trying to living his life, and he dies. Like, it makes no sense. So before you guys leave, make sure you subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of me, because you know you do. Give this video a thumbs up. Comment down below, what do you think happened to him? Like, does this seem conclusive to you? Do you feel there's enough information to make a conclusion to what happened to him? Like, what are you guys' ideas and thoughts? I would love to know that in the comments below, because I'm just as confused as anybody else. I really have no idea. So comment down below. Respect to his family.